Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of Madhu Decodes. In this episode, we try to discover what businesses and AI are working towards, and we try to break down the complex tech that is changing our world into simple, actionable insights. Today, we are talking about a subject that's almost impacting all of us, which is hiring and recruiting. But we are looking at it through a revolutionary new lens, visual intelligence. If you're a recruiter, you'll probably know the pain of surfing through numerous, CVs, matching them, looking at their profiles, and spending hours and hours selecting the right CV and a perfect candidate. What if you get all that time back? That'll be magic, isn't it? That's exactly what our guest is doing. Mattis, he's the founder of Mattis Consulting Limited in Manchester, UK. He's here today to talk about this topic. He started his career in the physical world, designing robotics, automation in the automotive industry. Now he's taken the same engineering, precision, and applied to it in the digital world. Patrick has built an AI superpowered system that is changing businesses, and today he's going to talk about it. His recent project, YourBestCandidate.AI, is a game changer in the recruitment agencies, slashing candidate matching time somewhere around 3 to 4 hours time back to below 60 seconds, which is tremendous. So today, Patrick is going to talk about it, and we are all going to hear about how recruitment industry is changing with AI. Welcome, Patrick. Welcome to Madhu Decodes. I am excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Madhu. I'm also very excited to be with you.
Thank you so much, Patrick. I know it's great to have you. And I know you've been a systems and a software engineer who's turned into an AI consultant. And I think we have a similar sort of a background. So I come from an instrumentation engineering background. And I think you also started off with embedded systems, like somewhere around. You also worked on controls for automotive industries. You designed robots. And you've now pivoted into AI, right? You are building solutions in AI, which are cutting down time, shortlisting the CVs. You're building AI with voice agents, etc. And what was this aha moment that actually made you pivot into AI?
So, as you say, I've been an engineer writing software. I moved into project management, technical project management, and I've been working on projects. And as you're working on projects, you are recruiting other engineers to help you with your projects. Obviously, with the ChatGPT moment in November 22, I thought, this would be significant. And I began to look into it. And at that point, I realized that this was a very important area and I should really look at it very seriously. So the aha moment really came as to just reviewing and looking at what artificial intelligence was and could be. And I thought, this is very important.
Very nice. So let's pivot into the industry specific aha moment then. So when you were looking at AI consulting as a career path and you're venturing into AI, how did you discover the pain points in this industry and why did you pin down recruitment as an industry for you to build an AI project?
Realistically, again, over my career, I have been recruiting people. And one of the things is that obviously recruitment agencies have a really hard job. They have to find appropriate companies that want their services and then find the appropriate people in a very time-limited fashion. But also for the company that's recruiting, they have to find the appropriate person, spend time reviewing, spend time writing job descriptions, but more importantly, spend time reviewing the CVs and determining if that candidate is the best for them. On top of that, there is a large payment that has to be made in terms of, if a recruitment agent finds you a client and your salary and the starting salary is 30 to 40,000, then you're going to be paying between maybe 10 to 20% of that starting salary fee for each particular agent. And realistically, as I started my own consultancy, it was looking at, how can I best reduce that cost? And I was fortunate to come across a recruitment agency that was looking to implement AI. So that's how this project started.
That's nice. So I can personally talk from my own experience, right? I mean, if you post a job posting for a candidate, I think it will take good 3 months to find the right candidate. And you have to go through different recruitment agencies, a multiple series of interviews before you actually finalize a candidate and you get them on board. And then you top it up with the knowledge transfer or upskilling time, etc. I think to get a person on board and actually getting to start them to work on your project, it takes So I personally can understand the pain,
Yes.
really speaking. Yeah. And I'm sure recruitment agencies are going to benefit from whatever you have just described. So why don't we just get deep into your project? Can you tell us before and after of your project and a little bit of an introduction of your tool itself, please? Yeah.
Sure. The other thing is that the product is really not just for recruitment agencies, although I think I started off in that sphere. I think it's for small business owners as well, small companies that are going to be recruiting 1 or 2, maybe up to 10 people. And the reason why they go to recruitment agencies is because they don't want their inboxes to be flooded with 200 applications, which they just cannot process. So this tool would also allow them to do that. So basically what Your Best Candidate does is it takes job descriptions, it takes job applications in terms of CVs, and it chunks them down. It embeds them, chunks them down, puts them into a database, and then reviews the best candidate, the candidates against the job description. And that's using RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation technique, which basically, as I say, is just looking at matching what a company is looking for or what a job description is looking for vis-a-vis the candidates and the information supplied by the candidate in a CV letters that they send.
That's very nice. So it's very insightful to hear that small businesses can use this solution as well as recruitment agencies.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously recruitment agencies have their ATSs, this is their application tracking systems, and they are really kind of heavily biased towards keywords. And this is why CVs have changed format from 10 pages down to 2 pages, and everything has got to be very tightly focused on that job description, and also ensuring that you hit the appropriate number of keywords. Because even if you may be the right candidate, but you don't apply the right words, then you will be rejected by the ATS, and therefore you won't be seen or be put on a short list. And we're hoping that this software will allow a better selection of candidates who are able to describe what they're actually doing in their roles and their experience, to be able to use this software to be able to get to the end goal, and also for companies to find candidates that are better matched.
Okay, so if you look at the software's benefits, the Your Best Candidate software's benefit, there might be many, right? Can you explain some of those business benefits and which one really stands out?
I think for me, it's the one of being able to quickly review and get a selection, a ranked list of candidates very, very quickly. So, you can have 100 CVs come in, which will be kind of typical for a job application that's put on LinkedIn or wherever. And within minutes, you can have a linked list of, say, the top 10, top 15 candidates. And that will allow you to then properly review and spend time reviewing those CVs and giving you the best use of your time.
So you're saying the best benefit that they can get is the time that you're cutting short?
Yes, I think so. And also, obviously, yes, I think that's the best way. And also in terms of cost. Again, so as far as I can see, even if we reduced the time of reviewing CVs by, let's say, 100 times, which I think would be a kind of a conservative reduction of time. But also you can look at the reduction of cost between 10, but let's say that, for example, you're currently paying 10%.
Okay.
So let's say that between 10 to 20% for a role. And let's say that you're paying £4,000. Then we would say you would be able to do that over the year for, let's say, £300 per month. So you could use it as many times as you want per year. So you're just paying on a monthly recurring fee for something that, if you're only using it for 1 month, then you just pay for 1 month. But if you're using it regularly over the year, then you can save yourself both time 10 times, cost around 10 times, and time by around 100 times. So
that's nice. That's a very big improvement. Yeah.
Exactly. That's giving you a very big benefit.
Definitely. So where do you think this time and benefit is going to result in? What are the other outcomes businesses can achieve if they save this time versus money? Where do you see some of your clients using that time?
Well, I think they can, as you say, I think they'll be able to onboard staff more quickly. I think they'll be able to onboard staff more quickly. And also, if, in the worst case, if it doesn't work out, then they are not losing all that time and money that, because if you onboard somebody and it takes them 3 months and then 3 months after that, 3 months. So it's taking you 3 months to find someone, 3 months to then get them to a point where they've done their probation and everything else. That's 6 months that you have basically invested in a person that ultimately has not really benefited the business.
Okay. So the 6 months of wait period is a saving as well, because you save time on the CV selection process, you save time on the overall recruitment process, thereby achieving the business benefit of the person joining sooner as well.
I think so. So. Yeah.
That's great. I think you're right? I mean, spending time on more meaningful aspects. So if you are a project manager, if you are a TPM, you are recruiting a team yourself, I think the time that you've got left over, you would probably spend on team management or any other project-related work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for permanent members of staff, that's definitely the case. And for contractors, as you say, or freelance workers that you working on a really urgent project, you want people in as soon as possible. So the sooner recruitment agencies are pretty good at getting people in very quickly, I suppose. But even so, the sooner you can do that, the better.
Thank you. And I know your case study talks about around 400 plus CVs, which actually takes around 4 hours, 20 minutes manually, versus your time taken was 32 seconds, right? That was the case study I saw.
Yeah.
How did it happen? How did Semantic AI actually reduce that time?
So what happens is that, we did this experiment where we went to, as you say, we went into this agency and we reviewed their 402 CVs. And that took, as you said, 4 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. Now, what happens is that basically the data is embedded into so we downloaded the CVs, we downloaded the job description, and then that information is basically chunked up and put into, as I say, a database. And the one thing about these, what they're called vector databases, what they do is they basically have embeddings or codings which describe the elements of the CV, and then they match the query from the job description. So or from the user that's saying, okay, I want to find the top 10 or the top 5 best candidates for health and safety engineer or whatever the role may be. And obviously, the vector database has been optimized to really search very, very quickly amongst all of the actual candidates and determine who are the best candidates on a ranked system, and then produces a ranked listing to the user based on experience, based on the job role, based on their description of their work, etc.
Can you explain the process? So if I'm a recruiter or I'm a manager trying to recruit someone, I have my job description. What does the step-by-step process looks like, and where in the process your best candidate fits in, and what happens beyond that point as well, beyond me using your tool? Yeah.
Okay, so right now, the tool, Your Best Candidate, so we would receive your job description.
Okay.
So you'd go onto the website, you'd download your job description, you would download all the applications, and then you would run your query of, I want the top 3 candidates with reasons, or with why have you selected these top 3 or top 5 candidates? And then the software will just run in the background and give you that response as to candidate A, B, and C, and these are the reasons why we're selecting them for you. So this is at the front end of the process. So therefore, the company or the agency has already received their emails, the applications, and then they're just processing them through. We are developing a sister product called Your Best Recruiter, which does the full life cycle in terms of as a small company owner, as an owner, you could talk or write or send in audio of the job description, which we will then make and produce and then put onto LinkedIn. Take the applications, then using Your Best Candidate, process those applications, and then send the top 3 or 4 or 10 to the client, who then selects. And then we would set up interviews using a joint calendar between the two candidates, between the company and the applicant, to be able to then organize an interview.
So Your Best Candidate is part of the recruitment lifecycle, right? So
part of.
Yeah. So I take my job description and say, for example, I have received 10 CVs from my job advert, say LinkedIn or any other job portal. I download those CVs. I then upload both the job description and the downloaded CVs into Your Best Candidate.
Yes.
And then the output that I get from Your Best Candidate will be the selected CVs, 3 or 4 or 2, whatever, based on my criteria.
Yeah.
And then I go take those 2 CVs and then do my rest of the recruitment process of interviewing or giving them an assessment or whatever.
Yes.
So that's where Your Best Candidate fits in.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And as a recruiter, as a manager, I can pay for that particular service, or I can choose to pay for a monthly service, or I can choose to pay for an annual service, correct?
Exactly.
And how does the pricing change from an individual versus somebody who's a recruitment agency?
So, typically, if someone's, it would depend on exactly how many CVs they want to process per year or per month. So that's an ongoing kind of pricing mechanism that we would discuss. So if somebody wants to process, 100 CVs per week, that's different to someone that wants to do 1 CV over 6 months. So we would have different pricing mechanisms for different prices. Yep.
Okay. And currently it's a SaaS product that you have?
Yeah, it's software as a service with the AI embedded inside it. Yeah.
Okay. And I know your tool does beyond keyword matching. So that's what you mentioned. So what is it that you do? What is it that you actually do to make sure it's not only keywords, it's something more?
Yeah. So this is where the retrieval augmented generation kind of works in, because it basically says, okay, take the data from the job description. And therefore, the more information we have from the company, the better. But certainly anyway, we take the job description, and that job description basically says, okay, these are the characteristics, these are the experiences that we're really looking for. And therefore, we only use that data along with what the candidate has supplied in their CV to match against that. So it's not just, have you been a health and safety engineer or have you been an embedded engineer? Does that fit? But it's also the experience and the kind of description that the applicant would have put in their CV that also fits the experiential and the desired characteristics that are normally in a job description as well. So it takes that into account, but it doesn't do things like, currently we're nowhere near saying whether or not a candidate would be culturally a good fit for a business or not. That's still a human thing to do.
Thank you so much, because that was my next question. I was going to ask you about candidate bias or cultural fit, etc. So how do you deal with those 2 aspects? So you've answered the cultural fit aspect.
Yeah.
Would you be able to give us insight into some of the bias aspects that we're looking at? Yeah.
That's something that, is difficult for us to, not difficult, it's something that we have to really manage, because it is very easy. Everyone has bias, so it's something that we have to manage and look at in terms of how are we performing regularly over
a period of time.
And then balance it out and assess it and retune as it were.
Thank you. How does this experience benefit or change the candidate's perspective? Are there any benefits for the candidate themselves?
I think it will change. I think it will change the way that CVs are written. I know that we used to have, 10-page CVs, and they all got narrowed all the way down because it was just way too much for humans to read. So I think it could possibly improve it in terms of candidates being able to give a more fuller and rounded picture of themselves and their experience. But I think also for the candidate, it will allow them, if we give them the proper feedback, it will allow them to say, you weren't in the top 5 or the top 10, and these are the reasons why you weren't in the top 5 or top 10, because we do a review, or we do an analysis of that CV, and that's why we come up with a ranked list. So we can then go back to the candidate and say, okay, for this role, you may have the experience, but it did not come through in your CV, and therefore, our automation, our AI did not pick up that experience. So I think there are swings and balances, to be honest.
Thank you, because that's a very interesting shift really in a recruitment process, because I don't think any candidate really receives any feedback during the filtering process. Candidates normally would have received an email with a one-liner saying, sorry, not this time, next time, something like that. Because maybe in an interview phase, you probably get feedback. 90% of the time, even that is very seldom. I think this is a very interesting shift if that is something that we can give to the candidate themselves, because that will improve from their point of view as well.
Yeah, I mean, it will depend on the HR and on the company's view as whether or not they want to take that information and process it accordingly. But it's certainly something that is definitely feasible.
That's very nice. Did the recruiters get nervous about anything at all during this whole process?
Yeah, I think it's changing the way that they have worked, and it's the new way of working. So there was a little bit of a pushback, I would say, from that, which is to be expected.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think change is inevitable, but change is the biggest thing that people can't manage really well either, right? Even with AI, I think people's mindset is so confused. A lot of small businesses don't know where they benefit and how they benefit, and I think there is a fear factor that as business owners and consultants, you're having to deal with and manage it on the go. Yeah.
Yes, I think obviously there are. We kind of use this framework which I've taken from someone else. But basically, they talk about crawl, walk, run, and fly. And this is basically companies will be at different stages. So some will just be touching and playing a little bit with automation and with AI, and others have kind of already done a few projects and are willing to take more of a risk. But I think a business just needs to do what we believe is an audit and determine where they are, and then find out what is the most challenging thing that AI could help them with. And I think that's where you would start.
Okay. I'm a firm believer that AI actually enhances human work and doesn't take away anybody's work. So I would like to hear your perspective and this tool's perspective of how you blend in AI's capabilities and a recruiter's workload, and how would you eliminate the fear that a recruiter's job would be gone, for example?
I'm not sure I can alleviate that fear, because I think that AI is here. And I think it will take 5 to 10 years, no doubt. But at some point, there are physical jobs like electricians and plumbing and building buildings and so forth that will be around for, I think, still many decades, because AI will not be able to replace those jobs easily. But I think for people like myself and people that work a lot with computers and processing data and so forth, it will be a question of, as you say, how do you use AI to improve your productivity, and basically how do you use it to improve your productivity. And I think there are still many years in advance in the future where humans and AI will have to coexist, certainly in terms of work, for a very long time. And also there are obviously regulatory and legal obstacles that will not allow AI to do certain things, no matter how good it is, until there's a proper legal framework.
That's true. I think your tool also has a blend of AI with the human intervention, right? You're only replacing a part of the process. The remaining of the recruitment process is still human-led, and you clearly explained which parts are going to be more predominantly human-led, where concepts like bias or, cultural fit, etc. comes into play. The other aspects where it's just the machine done job aspects that you explained, that's where we are actually improving the lives of a recruiter. So I think it is clearly a mantra that AI blended with human intervention will be the best suitable model, and it will create most value as we move on towards the new world.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think that AI could be and can be and is a really great benefit if we utilize it right. Obviously, there are issues with AI. There's hallucinations. There's all sorts of issues still to be resolved. But even now, even though it's not perfect, it still has a large benefit that it can accrue and give businesses.
Thank you. Are you willing to explain to me how this tool is then going to integrate with other elements in the recruitment process, and where else you're thinking you can enhance this process itself?
So right now, if a job description, so for example, if you have a job description, someone has to place that onto LinkedIn or onto Indeed or somewhere else like that. So as I was saying about a sister product that we are developing, we're looking to do the full cycle so that a job description can be written by the manager or by the HR department and inputted into the system, and that automatically then gets loaded onto the appropriate job site. And I think currently LinkedIn has something like 70%, of jobs are kind of placed on LinkedIn. So it's very, very big. So let's say it's LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So it automatically puts the job description on LinkedIn. When people apply through the link, then that goes to to one email address, which is then processed and put into the appropriate database and run by YourBestCandidate.AI to then select the 10 or the 15 most appropriate people. That list then gets sent on to the recruiting manager or HR. They make a selection, and then that goes back, and then the system can then automatically organize interviews with the candidate. Obviously, then that's a human element of having the interviews and determining who they want or don't want.
That's very nice. So you're planning to automate the entire workflow that you just described?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So again, the inputs for a human being would be obviously selecting the candidates. They may see a list of 3 or 5 and they say, okay, I want number 1, number 3, and number 5. Obviously, that's a human choice to make, and they then get put forward for scheduled interviews.
Thank you. And what sort of ROI did the actual program hit for your first client?
That's a good... So the return on investment, that's a good question, actually. I haven't actually calculated it, but that's a good question.
Yeah, maybe we can discuss it another time.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No, that's a good question. I don't have that number to hand.
No problem. Okay. What do you think is the future of recruitments or the whole process itself going to look like? Do you have any insights into it?
So I do believe that, first of all, I think there will be autonomous agents.
Okay.
That businesses will be able to kick off and say, okay, I'm looking for this kind of candidate. I'm looking for an embedded software engineer, live in this area, and that area. And that embedded software, that agent would be able to autonomously go off and search and find appropriate candidates. I then think that those candidates can be interviewed using, again, voice agents to go through the first or the second tranche of recruitment. So there are sometimes people go through 2 or 3 types of interviews. It's through 3 rounds of interviews. Initially, just to make sure that they're a real person, that they meet some initial criteria, etc., etc. And then obviously right at the end, there is a final interview normally with the recruiting manager themselves to determine if they have the technical and also do they have that cultural fit that we were talking about. So I think that voice agents and agents could probably do the first half of it, but ultimately the recruitment would be done by, the human being at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
If small businesses want to take your solution, but they want some customizations, what sort of landscape do you think you have potential for customizations?
So currently, what we would do is we would basically, we're open to customization, basically. We're open to customization. So for the recruitment agency, we created obviously a separate database because we were linking to their database as well. So they had their own recruitment database, and so we've linked to that. So there are possibilities for customization. Yes.
Thank you. So you are able to plug in this tool in their bigger ecosystem by way of customization as well, if there are small, medium businesses that want this.
Sure. But as I say, there is as you say, there is the web app, and they can then just go on there, create an account. Mm-hmm. All the accounts are created on AWS for security and for privacy. People will not be able to log in and see confidential data. Obviously, we have to keep abreast of GDPR and under the regulatory private health or personal health information being kept secret.
Okay. I know you mentioned voice agents, right? That's fascinating to see actually how you're blending in an automation and a voice agent solutions in the workflow itself. Do you see there is a future for these two technologies to blend in any other aspects of recruitment agencies apart from what you've just described?
I think.
Or have you done any other voice agent projects, not just for recruitment agencies?
No, yeah. So the voice agent, I think, can be used across a number of different domains and industries, and one that we're working on right now, two that we're working on right now are dental, medical, kind of customer service, receptionists, and also we're working with a fast food organization in terms of providing a voice agent to be able to take food orders over the phone. And so restaurants, fast food places, places where customer service and receptions are required could be used by voice agents, could be used to help, because a lot of businesses lose revenue because then no one is available to answer the phone at that time.
So for the small businesses who are listening to you right now, or agencies who are listening to you right now, what is the first step they need to do in order to use this tool or get into the world of AI without even thinking about a big budget? What are the first steps they need to do?
That's a good question. So what I would generally say is choose a particular tool, whatever tool so look at your business and determine, okay, where am I having recurring or large obstacles or challenges on a daily or a weekly basis? Then choose a tool, Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, whichever the tool is, and begin to say, okay, explore how can you explore with that tool its solutions. How can I resolve this problem? And just begin to work through those sorts of, just choose one issue, that's all, and just work through it with Gemini, as I say, or Claude, or whatever it may be, whatever it is.
Thank you, Patrick. So if a big business or an agency wants to contact you, your company, how would they reach out to you, and what is the process you would undergo to make sure they are getting what they need?
So they can contact me through LinkedIn, through my email at patrick.mattis@mattisconsulting.com. I'm also on X, which is Mattis Patrick. But once a company's contacted me, the thing that we want to do is we want to find out what their issues are, not what my issues are, or what solutions that we think we could bring. So we would want to do kind of an audit, just a quick audit of a quick understanding of where the company is, what their understanding of AI is, and then look at what their biggest challenges are, and then seeing how can we help resolve that. So it's not just a matter of looking at, initially we'll look at a problem, but ultimately you want to see what would be the overall strategy for your business as to how you can implement AI. And it's not all in one go. You can see, let's tackle the lowest hanging fruit that we can, so that, as you say, you can get this return on investment as soon as possible.
Thank you, Patrick. I know you've spent a lot of time in your project as well as explaining our listeners how they can benefit from Your Best Candidate. I'm sure there are many more projects you're going to do, and we are going to keep continuing these conversations. So businesses can reach out to you. I'll put the description and your LinkedIn profile in my YouTube description as well. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you in this podcast.
Thank you very much, Madhu, for having me. And yes, it was a pleasure too. Thank you.
Thank you.